Alright guys, part 2. My dad is still here, still driving us to UFC 115. Well, not there, because I don't even know where's the pay-per-view night, Las Vegas.
I'm not a UFC fan.
Well, I'm
going to this because it'll be fun, and going with to see friends that are into it. Maybe they'll get me into it now. I've missed 114, but so no, I don't know where it is.
I guarantee you someone's going to write a comment, oh, it's in this town, but no. It's probably not in Las Vegas, because that's where next month Lesnar and Carwin is, but alright, and I'm much more into Lesnar for obvious reasons. I was a fan as a wrestler and as a mixed martial artist, so alright, let's get back to the house show. The second half kicked off with Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship. It was a good match. I mean, I know there's some people that don't like McIntyre, but I think he's actually pretty good. I mean, he hasn't totally grown on me yet, like Sheamus has, because I just hated Sheamus, but now I think he's fantastic, because he actually shows who he is now. But McIntyre is just, he's just okay to me. I mean, he's a good mid-carder. If he got a little more ring experience, I think he could be a solid guy. What do you think? Thought about the Kofi?
Well, I still hate Sheamus, but as far as that match, I asked you during it, who Drew McIntyre is, and he's like Rex, just someone that's out there to lose. I mean, the fans are obviously for Kofi. I like him, like I told you before, because he's a acrobatic, high flyer type guy. He's the fan favorite, and he's certainly the person you're rooting for. This was kind of a boring match for me. I would probably give it like a maybe a 4 or 5 tops. And again, this was the first match after intermission, right?
Yeah.
So compared again to the opening match, which was the match of the night, this kind of fell flat, and you were hoping for better things after that. So
especially with two guys like Dolph and Christian.
Now I will say that the best part of this match, and tell me if I'm wrong, Eric, was the fact that at the end of it, once McIntyre had been pinned, he started hitting Kofi, and then Kane came.
No, Matt Hardy.
Oh, Matt Hardy came out to help him, and we were laughing because the referees were chasing Matt Hardy all around, and he escaped, but then he came back, and they were still chasing him, and it was like watching the Keystone Cops. Now you have to be old, like I am, to know what that reference is, but that was the best part of the match. After the match was over, watching, and that was Matt Hardy's only appearance of the night, so I was glad to see that. I actually had mentioned, hoping that we would get to see him, and we did, at least briefly.
Yeah, Matt Hardy is odd. I mean, now that he has a YouTube channel and making weird videos and everything, and now he's doing this, and just Matt Hardy just has a weird character now, and I guess it fits him kind of well because Matt Hardy is weird. And then we got to the I think this might be the second best match of the night, CM Punk versus Kane, maybe. I'm looking through the matches, and nothing else really that pops out at me. Christian versus Dolph as an opener was just fantastic. So and I'm not that big on Dolph, and I just thought that was a fantastic opener. Probably the second best match of the night. CM Punk versus Kane. Being there close to Kane shows how actually huge he is. TV does not do guys like Big Show or Kane justice, and being there live, they seem a lot more impressive. Just like when I've been to Ring of Honor live, the students seems just so much more impressive than they are on DVD. Big men in WWE just seem more impressive live than they are on TV. I know you also like big men, Dad, right?
I do, and I agree 100% that part of the best part of this house show, if you can sit closer than you can during a pay-per-view, like we went to Extreme Rules, is being able to see the size of these athletes. It's just amazing. I like this match a lot because, like I said before, I'm not into this CM Punk team. What's their name?
Straight Edge Society.
The Straight Edge Society, because they're back there, and it gets a little bit old that one of them will distract the ref, and then behind the ref's back, another one will be beating on Kane, and Kane won this match, but then they kept beating him after. And then someone came out to help Kane after that. That was the Hart Dynasty. Hart Dynasty.
Yeah.
And then the highlight, I think, one of the highlights of the night, top 3 for me, was that once Kane got back up after being beaten after the match, he did a double choke slam, which I had never seen live on the person that also wears the mask instead, besides
Mercury
Punk,
and
that we
Gallows.
think is Mercury, and on the other
That's
side,
Mercury.
Luke Gallows is, a big guy, but I still like him better as Festus. But that was the better part. That was one of the best parts of the night, as an individual moment, is that double choke slam.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. I don't see why you don't like CM Punk. I know I'm biased because he's kind of from Ring of Honor and everything, but I just think Punk is amazing. He's truly, truly great as a heel. Kind of like Kevin Steen. They would keep him face because he's good at that too, but he's too valuable as a heel.
You just care more about that reference because you kissed him.
Coming to DVD soon. And then the main event of the night, no disqualification, which really didn't use weapons. Jack Swagger versus The Big Show. One thing about Big Show is that you notice live is that when he hits the ropes or everything like that, the ring structure shakes. It's being there close enough where you can visibly see that live. It's just like it's just amazing. One of the simple things that's just amazing being there. But this match was kind of okay. The match at Over the Limit between those two was terrible, and so this was better than that. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think this match was kind of predictable in the sense that, this guy is so much bigger than his opponent that you start out with CM Punk trying to punch him and doesn't work,
Swagger.
Swagger pushing him and doesn't work, and trying to knock him down, it doesn't work, and then he has to do something, like chop him down by going after his legs, and then that the big guy's going to be hurt for a little while, and he's going to come back and win, and which he wins with a choke slam. And I just, it was kind of predictable. I'm also not a big Jack Swagger fan. I don't think he's paid his dues enough to be champion, and took advantage of that Money in the Bank thing, and so I'm hoping that someone beats him quickly. But again, I was happy to be there to see the size of Big Show. Big Show is somebody that we saw at Extreme Rules, but we're sitting probably 3 times farther away from where we were tonight. So again, for the first time, you get the size of how big this man is, and that was pretty fun to see Big Show.
Yeah, he almost had a duck under the entranceway. It was so big. It's amazing. I remember me and my dad, when he came out, we were like, wow, just how huge he is, and sitting so close. It's pretty cool. All right, any other thoughts, Dad?
Just that this, we saw this live on June 12th, the night after Smackdown was on television, which I'm sure is taped.
It's taped
where Kane had come out at the end of a match, at the end of the show, and choke slammed Big Show. That's what I would like to see, is some type of monster 4-way where you have Big Show and Kane and Undertaker and the Great Khali. That would be pretty impressive match to see. But I had a really good time at the show. I'm glad we went, and hope you enjoyed our review.
Yeah, thank everybody. Anybody still watching this? Thank you very much. All right, I'll see you guys later.